how does it feel that you may be nominated for Best Actor at Oscars for your performance in The White Tiger?
I don't know if that'll happen, but everything that I'm receiving and everything that I'm experiencing is a bonus because I had no expectations.
You played the younger version of Shah Rukh Khan in My Name is Khan.
At that point in time, me and my family didn't know that this is something that I would be doing in the future. I think this world is very lucky to have a director like Ramin in it. I'm very fortunate to have worked with a genius like him at such an early part of my life. तो मैं जा रहा हूँ अब्रॉड शूट करने, क्योंकि करण जौहर की फिल्म है. And then cut to I get to know 3 days later कि नहीं चामुंडा पेट्रोल पंप बोरीवली में shooting.
Right. What about meeting Shah Rukh Khan?
Everybody asks me how was it meeting Shah Rukh Khan, and I said I've never met Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh,
I wish I could have.
Adarsh, welcome on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How does it feel that you may be nominated for Best Actor at Oscars for your performance in The White Tiger?
I don't know if that'll happen, but I just feel I'm very fortunate to have worked on such a big film that people across the world can watch, and everything that I'm receiving and everything that I'm experiencing is a bonus because I had no expectations from the film about how it would do. Yeah, I'm just trying to take it all in and trying to enjoy and live the moment.
COVID has been a very sad experience for almost everyone. But I think in many ways, the world cinema is rejoicing for the fact that there's a film that has come out that is really making a difference, that is really creating an impact, that is talking about discrimination, that people can relate to in any part of the world. How heartening is that for you?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think it's just two geniuses who've collaborated. It's Arvind Adiga for writing such an incredible book back in 2004 or 5, and Ramin adapting it. And I think it becomes very challenging because when you're adapting a book into a screenplay, you're converting a 300-page piece of literature and condensing it into a 120-minute film. So you have to make very smart choices about the kind of scenes that you want to show in the film so that you can still retain the flavor of the book and still be able to tell that story. Yeah, I mean, the film obviously has a very strong socio-political commentary, and apart from it being very funny, which again is, complete credit to Arvind and Ramin for keeping it that way. And it's very heartwarming to see how it's affecting people, and very heartwarming to see how, what they think about certain things, and when they come and talk to me about certain scenes and how it affected them. And, as an actor, when you're doing these things, you're so close to it that you often, I think, you sort of lose your sense of objectivity. But when you see the reactions of people, then you're like, "Nahi, yaar, this is good stuff."
No, absolutely. One scene that I think almost everyone is talking about is Mahesh Manjrekar. He just pushes you with his legs, and Priyanka's outburst happens. Pinky's outburst happens. Now, that is something that so many people all across the world they can relate to. That maybe the subjugated is trying to lean on the one who has this natural tendency to be the master, and then they are just not treated nicely. That is something that I think it is a very powerful moment in the film. Do you think that a lot of people are identifying with it? Because we are living in those times when say whatever has happened in US, for example, or various parts of the world, that this sort of polarization and divide is very stark right now.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about the film is that although Balram talks about himself being in a rooster coop, it's actually the fact is that all these characters are in their own rooster coops in some way. They are all trapped in their own lives in some way where they can't say no and they can't get out of it. There's a simmering rage in the entire film, if you see, and I think that's what you connect with the most, because all of us in our lives encounter some form of injustice or the other. Maybe not how Balram did, but something that happens to you in office, maybe something that happens to you at your house, maybe something that happens to you in school or college. So I think that is what is the most identifiable, to see that there was somebody who was going through something like this, and then took matters in his own hands, which is, I mean, obviously not the right thing to do if you think about it on an ethical way, or, you don't endorse such a thing. But I think it really shows you what desperation can lead to when people are really pushed in a corner. They have to make a very tough choice in life. And I think it's also like, it's also symbolic in some way. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to kill somebody to go ahead in life, but it's basically not letting other people tell you what to do and carving your own destiny. And Balram did that. So I think, yeah, it is a very identifiable film. Plus, it's an underdog story, and it's always very nice to see somebody rise from right from the bottom to go somewhere that Balram did. So I think, yeah, it is a very very relatable journey for people to watch.
Raman has said in one of the interviews that the book is entertaining. It is funny. Even when the dark
Yeah,
moments happen in the second half, it still
yeah,
continues to be funny. So it was a tough
yeah.
task for him to just edit it in a proper manner and so that everything flows nicely. When you see the film now after the entire process of shooting for it, what is your response? Like many a times, people don't give enough credit to the behind the scenes people who just carry out those fine nuances, be it the editor, be it the way the director's mind works, because he's having the entire material at his disposal, and he's spoiled for choices that where he should remove something, even though it is close to his heart, so that the pace of the film is correct.
I think this world is very lucky to have a director like Ramin in it. I've never seen a man with such singular focus. He lives, breathes, walks, and talks cinema. That's all he thinks about. And I think as an artist, I'm very fortunate to have worked with a genius like him at such an early part of my life. He just gave us so much freedom to work with our characters and to explore our own truths of it, because it's an existing piece of literature. So now he was like, okay, this is there, but what do you bring to the table as an actor? What is your truth of it? So I think, yeah, as a director, he just gave us enough space to work around with. He gave us the space to improvise. He never decided how a scene would look. He would never say action or cut. He would just say whenever you're ready, and then just walk into the scene when we were performing, and we knew, okay, this is the end of the scene now. That Ramin is in frame. But yeah, I think Ramin just works incredibly hard as a person. He's also edited the film along with his team. And as I said before, as an actor, and also Ramin never allowed us to see our playback, so we had absolutely no idea how the film was looking or what it was. It was a mystery for us. And I, for the first time, saw the film when I was dubbing for it, and then I saw it too many times. I saw it like 20, 25 times. So because the voiceover part happened after the shooting, and there was some ADR as well that came up. So I तो completely lost sense of all objectivity. I was like, भाई ये क्या है? मेरे को कुछ मतलब, is the film good? Is it not? Is it affecting people? But when I saw it in the we had a small sort of screening of with friends, and it was on a projector with big speakers. That day I felt like, nahi yaar, this is a good film. I saw how people reacted to it, and now of course with like everybody, like different people reacting to it and telling me about a certain scene or about a certain character or how they could relate to it. Now I feel that no, it's a solid film.
Tell us something about the writing part of it, because many of the I'm just talking about the dialogues right now. Obviously, writing
Yeah.
is far more complex than what people understand it to be. Many of the lines, I think, they are being talked about. They will be talked about in the coming days as well. Be it the rooster and the coop, the line on the how the masters treat their servants. So many of those lines I think are very very profound. What is the entire process like? How involved was Arvind in just penning those dialogues for the film, or if someone else was collaborating with him? What was the process like?
So Ramin and Arvind were classmates in Columbia University, and Ramin, like when Arvind was writing the novel back in 2005 or six, Ramin used to like be his sort of his bouncing board. He would bounce ideas off Ramin, and they would discuss, and that's how it was written. So Ramin knew about this much before than anybody of us had. He had read it even before it had come out. But when it eventually came to him directing the film, I think I don't know if Arvind was involved, because as far as I know, I don't think he was involved in writing the screenplay. That was solely Ramin and his friend who helped him write the dialogues. And he came to India much before the shoot started. He walked physically to all these locations to understand and experience how India was, and did all these things, and that is why you see that it is a very accurate representation of it. It's not done in a haste. It's done taking a lot of time, and yeah, that is what's most special about Rami. He just like he just goes all in when he does anything.
You played the younger version of Shah Rukh Khan in My Name Is Khan.
Hanji.
How do you look back at that?
It was nice, I was at that point in time, me and my family didn't know that this is something that I would be doing in the future. So for us, it was like, yeah, this is a big opportunity. And initially, I was very excited because I got a chance. When I got the casting call कि आपका हो गया, I was like, अब तो मैं जा रहा हूँ abroad shoot करने, क्योंकि करण जौहर की फिल्म है. And then cut to I get to know 3 days later कि नहीं चामुंडा petrol pump Borivali में shooting. And I was like, because I never traveled abroad. So I was like, okay, कोई बात नहीं, चलो, it's still a big thing. And my parents were so excited because I shot for 3 days, and on all 3 days, different relatives came. One day, my grandfather and my father came. One day, my mother came. One day, my brother and his friend came. And we were just in awe of this whole shooting process because we'd never seen a shoot, let alone any person in our family even act in a film. We'd never even seen a shooting. So we were like very mesmerized by the whole thing कि vanity van होती है, साथ में बैठ के सब खाना खाते हैं, अच्छा करण जौहर असली जिंदगी में और भी लंबे हैं. मतलब the observations were very naive, and they were all, it was a very pure experience. I wish I could feel like that about a shoot again, but
Right. What about meeting Shah Rukh Khan?
I didn't meet him. I didn't get to meet him.
Oh,
I wish I could have.
so have you
No,
met him
I didn't
later?
meet him.
Have you met
No,
him
I've
later
never
after
met
that?
him in my life. No, I've never met him in my life.
That's so strange.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
that's
everybody asks me, that is the next question. They were like, how is my first Khan? How was it meeting Shah Rukh Khan? And I said, I've never met Shah Rukh Khan. I wish I could have.
I'm sure that he must be proud now once he gets to know that you're doing India proud by doing this film. Okay, so what's your plan from here on now, Adarsh? Because you're someone who had been auditioning till a few days back. You've done several ad films, but I'm sure a lot of people are taking interest in you right now all across the world. And it's important to maybe have a manager or who can represent you abroad. Is Priyanka helping you? What is exactly the game plan?
I have an agency called WME that's helped me in the West to get me work, to get me auditions. Honestly, it's a very strange feeling because, all your life you audition and you take whatever you get because you don't really have choice. And now suddenly you're like, oh, wow, I have choice. And then I have to say no to something because, you want to do everything that comes your way. And not everything, but like a lot of things that are very exciting, but you can't. So it's a strange equation to have with work now. Um, I have no plans as such, bhai. It's just I just want to work with people who have a distinct voice. I want to work with filmmakers who take risks and who have something unique to share. And I hope that I can be part of great stories in some way or the other. That's all the plan I have. Otherwise, I have no like bucket list as such. Um, yeah, but I hope that this creates uh, windows of opportunity for me, not just in the West, but even in India. I want to work regionally a lot. I want to work with Malayalam filmmakers and Tamil filmmakers and Marathi filmmakers that I've liked. And I just hope that I get the chance and the time to. I've been trying to learn Tamil from my dad. Um and I'm going to try to learn Malayalam as well. It's a tough language, but I'm going to try. I speak Telugu. I'm a South Indian. Um, so yeah, the idea is just to utilize this as much as I can and work with great directors.
Many people are of the opinion that maybe I think the best work as far as cinema is concerned is happening that is happening in India is happening down south, be it Malayalam or Tamil or Telugu. So is that the reason that you're more keen to work down south?
I mean, I'm just keen to work in any form of any language. I don't think language should be a barrier for an actor. Uh, Considering the fact that if he has time to learn and prepare for it, it's just a medium of expression, but emotions are the same universally. So, I mean, I want to work in Hindi films, of course, but also in anything that comes my way. I don't want language to become a barrier and a reason for me to not be able to work with somebody I like.
What about music? You are a trained classical singer. You've collaborated with quite a few people as well. Would you want to do more in music as well?
Yeah, I would love to. I actually started learning classical when I was fairly young. Couldn't even read when I started learning. I was 4.5 years old, and I learned it till I was 15, and then I got a little bored of classical because I had that whole cultural shift. I came from Jamshedpur to Bombay, and suddenly I thought, and as a teenager, when you're growing up, there are so many things that influence your opinion, and suddenly I thought, oh, classical music isn't cool anymore and I should learn Western music. And then, I got into Western music. I used to sing for a couple of bands in college. But really, in the lockdown, I just taught myself how to play the guitar because, I was just like, yeah, I don't want to depend on anybody else. I want to, because I used to write and compose for my band. So I said, why not just learn an instrument and be my own like one man show? I don't need to depend on anybody else. So I just taught myself how to play the guitar, and I'm not good enough at it yet, but I've been practicing, and I hope to get good enough to sing and compose for a film.